Yo, what's going on, guys? And today I want to talk about Jarrett Culver is joining the Orlando Magic. And now this is a guy who was drafted in 2019, and he's made a couple stops. First off, shout out my coworker, Michael Scotto at Hoop Type, for breaking this news. He's agreed to a deal. My assumption is it's a non-guaranteed deal. He's in his fourth NBA season. I believe he cannot do another two-way. He's averaged 6.5 points in 4 NBA seasons. He's been in the NBA since 2019. He's played for the Timberwolves, Grizzlies, and Hawks. Now, what can we talk about Jarrett Culver? Well, last year he averaged 21.6 and a half rebounds, 3.5 assists, just under 2 steals a game for the Rio Grande Valley Vipers in 43 games, shooting 47.5% from the field and 36% from three. And realistically, the year before he was an 18-7 guy. He's more of a forward wing. And he's played 2 seasons with the Timberwolves, 1 season with the Grizzlies, and 1 year with the Hawks. So I do believe he has no two-way eligibility. And he's a guy who, the last 2 years, his three-point shot has really came around. And that was the whole thing. For Culver, he always needed to develop into a pull-up jump shooter or a spot-up shooter. Seemingly, he's been able to remake that jump shot over the while, and I think he's a guy who has been able to bring the ball back up to the middle of his body, and he's just a ridiculous hard worker that teams obviously have trust. That's why he stayed around the league. People have faith, and I know that small hitch he had at the top of his release kind of kept him back, but it seems like it's gone, and I want to hear your guys' opinions at this point. Are you guys thinking that he's a worthy NBA player? I think he's still a guy who can be a decent defender in the NBA. He's a guy that I think can go out and show that he has some serious bounce still. He's a long frame 6'6" with an almost 6'10" wingspan, and he's gotten a better outside shot. I really do believe that the time is nigh. Okay, and so let's just see what he can do. I really think it's a non-guaranteed deal at this point. Shout out Orlando. They also brought in Myron Gardner earlier, so that's something to talk about. But I want to hear your guys' opinions in the comment section. What do you guys think of this, and are you guys as excited as I am over it, or do you guys think I'm just being a bit overzealous? I really don't think I am. I think they have a bunch of dudes like McClung, Trevelyan Queen, and now Myron Gardner on non-guaranteed deals, and Caleb Houston and Corey Joseph are the only 2 guys that I really think they would cut. So my whole predicament when I look at this team is who's going to be, if he were to make the team. Like, I assume McClung and Trevelyan Queen and Myron Gardner are all the 2-ways. So are they going to cut Caleb Houston for this, our boy right here? Which I think would be, I just don't know much, like, where Caleb is develop-wise. I know what he is or what the expectation was, 6'10", 6'9", combo forward who can maybe stretch the floor one day. He's just buried on that roster, and I know this is a roster that's probably trying to take that jump, and that's the whole thing. So let me hear your thoughts in the comment section if you made it to this part of the video, and the rest of the video will be about Myron Gardner. So let's get to it. I want to hear your thoughts. Peace out, everybody. Yo, what's going on, guys? And we got to talk about Myron Gardner, who I am a huge fan. Chris Haynes just said the Orlando Magic signed him. I believe it's probably an Exhibit 12, or Exhibit 10. I don't know why I said 12. Exhibit 10, basically a training camp deal with the incentive that if he does not make the team, which is more than likely, they go ahead and they cut him. But he goes back. He already played this past year with the Osceola Magic, which is the G League affiliate of the Orlando Magic. So then he goes, and after 60 days, he gets a $50K bonus. So he ends up making 6 figures playing in the G League. He's in the system. He's probably a guy who's next up to get a 2-way. I love Myron Gardner coming. So last year I did some G League draft scouting for and we sent out a G League draft guide to all the G League teams. And Myron Gardner was someone that I wish I could have put one. I love this guy. I think he can be what PJ Tucker has made a career doing. I think Myron Gardner can do, but maybe even better. He's equally like this. It's like 6'6", sturdy, long arm. His stock numbers and his defensive numbers in college were absolutely absurd. He's got an improving 3-point shot, and he was actually originally committed to Georgetown. Some stuff happened, but from what I've got intel, good kid, good worker. He was originally actually drafted by the Wisconsin Herd in the G League draft, but he ended up going to Osceola, and he averaged 5 and 4.5, 5.5, 4.5 on 42% from the field, 31%. Playing only 15 minutes a night, and had just under a steal and a block a game with an assist as well. So, limited minutes, but young guy who I think has an NBA body, has an NBA athleticism and game. It's about, can he put it together? And I think him being in Orlando is a beyond perfect situation for the guy. And I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, Sarah, you're the only person who cares about this. Maybe, but if he gets a two-way in the future and makes the roster, I told you so. I told you so. And currently, if you look at Orlando's, the depth chart over there in Orlando, again, it's very unlikely that he makes the roster. He's just a training camp body. However, there's always good stories, and this also could lead to a contract down the road. As I told you, he's more than likely going to be playing for their G League affiliate because of how the incentive works with we don't know the contract details, but I can only assume that's the contract they're giving him regarding his prior. I'll say they're in love with the guy, but I think when you look at the current team, which they have Trevlin Queen as their only two-way, and they have Myron Gardner and Mac McClung. McClung, I don't think he maybe can do one more year as a two-way. I mean, that could be their 3 two-way guys: Queen, McClung, and Gardner. Not bad. What do you guys think?